Hello, and welcome back to the living room. I'm Dr. Wiggo, and today we're going to talk about gaming on the Apple Vision Pro, because Apple says you can play all the games you love. Well, that's true up to a point. Depends on what games you love. And we'll go into that. So first I'm going to do the PS5 because that's where all the games I love are, as you probably know from watching the channel. Actually, there'll be an unboxing of 2 PS5 games next week. I'm going to demo one of them now. It's a PS5 version of an older game, so there may be spoilers, but it's a 6-year-old game. Well, let's go in here and talk about how we go about doing this. I'll mention some other solutions for Steam, for PC gaming, and for the Nintendo Switch. None of them very good. Well, actually, the one I'm about to show you for the PS5 isn't that great, but it works. Well, stick around, you'll see. Oh, and at the end, I'll also put in a couple of the apps that I was going to show you last week that my screen recording stopped. So I'll throw those in at the end. Let's go inside. The app we're going to talk about today is the iPad app MirrorPlay, which works on the Vision Pro and which will let you do remote play from your PS5 with a bit of setup, which we will run through right now. Now, the first thing we have to do is get the PS5 ready. So if you can see over here, we need to go to Settings, System, Remote Play, and enable Remote Play. Now we need to go to the App Store, MirrorPlay. And here's the MirrorPlay, which I have previously downloaded and tested. Now we have to accept the privacy policy and get started. Now the easiest thing is to put this over here where I can see. So now I need to register my PlayStation. And I do have a PlayStation 4, but I'm going to register the PlayStation 5. Now I have to go back to the PlayStation, back to System, back to Remote Play, and get Link Device. And it gives me a code, which I have 297 seconds to type in. And then I have to log in to my PS5, which I believe I can do with passwords here. And it picks up my code from the text it just sent me. So now I will verify. I need to allow it to get to my local devices. I don't know if it's because I linked it before and then unlinked it so I could redo the install so y'all could watch, but it's not doing it.
2 hours later.
Well, here's a tip. Don't delete and reinstall this stuff. Do it once, because I just spent an hour. I don't even know how I've got it to work. I had to reboot everything. I had to restart the PlayStation. I had to restart the Vision Pro. I had to restart. Registration is successful. I will write out the instructions down below, since you may not have seen all of that because I was doing all sorts of stuff. But I have successfully finally registered my MirrorPlay with the PlayStation after like 27 tries. Now, you can do automatic remote connection outside of your house. I don't know if you want to do that. Now, before you start, go to Settings, Streaming, and you see it defaults to 540p. So you want to put that to 1080, which is as high as it goes. Not to worry, that's also true of most other things. And 60 FPS. Oh, and enable HDR, which I have, so I might as well use it. And now I will local connect. Well, that took long enough. It's now testing the connection, and you can see stuff's going on over there. Actually, you can't because this is in the way. There we go. I have here what I have there. Now, the problem is that just turning this on turned off this controller. So what I have to do now is go to Settings, Bluetooth, and now I have to get a different controller. I will use my fancy PlayStation controller, and you have to hold down the PlayStation button and share at the same time until the light blinks blue. There we go. And there's a DualSense Edge wireless controller. And now I have my controller. Now, that's 1080p. That is not 4K. On the screen behind it, it's in 4K. But it's way far away, so it actually looks better, a little better here. So this is Trails of Cold Steel 3 for the PS5. Now you'll notice I can also play using...
It's my turn!
This is a horrible way to do things. But there you got your PS button and everything. But you don't have to have a controller. Now again, this was a PS4 game from like 6 years ago. Yeah, you can see the resolution isn't that great.
Second form, get! Now!
This one's mine!
It's all right. Come back next week and I'll do I'm doing the unboxing of the limited edition box set of the PS5 version of Cold Steel 3 and 4. But for now, why don't we now I'll give you a little preview of a 1080p version Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Okay, we'll turn that off. Well, while I got the headset on, let me quickly show you the app that my screen recording ran out for last week, which was Puzzling Places. This is just weird. So it comes with a 25-piece, 100-piece, and a 200-piece demo, and then of course, to make money, you need to buy the puzzle packs. You get 3 more 200 pieces for $6. This one, because it's still in process. And I had to finish the easy one to get to the next one. So this is what they look like when they're starting out. And then you have to see, it looks to me like that'll fit right there. And I was correct. So you get the idea. It's not terribly it's terribly complicated. You have to be able to see 3D shapes. Now when you get near somewhere where it might go, it'll turn. So it's a 3D puzzle. It's pretty entertaining. And you can cycle through the pieces down here at the bottom. I mean, you get the 3 free ones. I'm sorry this isn't terribly professional video, but my back is giving me nothing but problems. In fact, I've got a heating pad sitting here behind me. I am in a great deal of pain. I was going to tell you about the other ways to play games. Now, obviously, the iOS game, the iPad games, everything will just work automatically. But for Steam games, you get the SteamLink iPad app, which, like the MirrorPlay that I just showed you, is also 1080p only. So it's not the greatest thing. But for PC games, and this also extends beyond that, there's a program called Sunshine, which is turns your PC into a streaming server, and it's available at github.com/lizardbite/sunshine. I'll link that down below. But you install that on your PC, and now it becomes a server, and then you get the Moonlight iPad app on your Vision Pro, which will then link to Sunshine, and this is important, at 4K 120 hertz. You have to have a heck of a Wi-Fi for that to work, because that's a lot of bandwidth. But, and here's the beauty, that's not just gaming. That's like getting your Mac screen into the Apple Vision Pro. You don't have the cute little connect button, you have to go through an app and do it, but you can get a PC screen at 4K 120 hertz inside your Apple Vision Pro and use it like a PC. I mean, obviously you'll have to have, if it's a laptop, you'll need keyboard. It'll be a mess, But, oh, speaking of messes, do you want to play the Nintendo Switch in the Apple Vision Pro? Well, get ready for some fun, because you're going to have to dock it to, I'm just going to link to a video that shows you how to do it. You have to dock it to a special kind of dock and then connect that back out to your Mac. Once you have the Switch on the screen of the Mac, then you can connect to the Mac, and now you can play. But of course, you need the controllers off the ends of your Switch. So while Apple says you can play all your favorite games, yes, they're right. Technically, you can. You can even play Switch games. It's just a pain in the ass. And you can play PC games and SteamLink. Well, SteamLink at 1080p, MirrorPlay at 1080p. Yes, you can play all your favorite games, but not really. But kind of. Well, you saw. For older games like Trails of Cold Steel, 1080p is fine because they weren't that high resolution. They were PS4 games. Cold Steel 1 and 2 were PS3 games. So you have the PS3 with the lower resolution. So the 1080p for those games. For Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I think I'd rather stick to the 4K on the screen than the 1080p bigger. Well, because it's going to be lower resolution, bigger but yet lower resolution. So it's the worst of both worlds. Now, there's one more thing I wanted to tell you about. And I don't have this app yet. It's still in development, but I'm going to link to the video below. It's a channel called Vision Pro Experience, and he got early access, and I think if you look around, you'll find some other people have early access. It's an app called SplitScreen, and what it does is it runs an app on your Mac, and then in the Apple Vision Pro, it lets you open a second screen after you connect to your Mac. So you connect to your Mac and you get your one screen, I think 4 or 5K, and then this will let you then, using this app combination on the Mac and the Apple Vision Pro, will let you open a second screen in the Apple Vision Pro, 1080p. All these things are limited to 1080p. Well, that was a really crappy video. Not only for you, but for me, because I just spent 2.5 hours doing that. If you're worried, I am seeing a doctor about my back. It's not helping yet. Well, I'm on steroids, which helped a lot the first couple of days and then quickly dwindled off. I've already shot the unboxing video for the limited edition of Cold Steels 3 and 4. So all I have to do is edit that, finish editing that. So that will be your video for... I also have the hiccups. So pretty much everything you've heard me say, I have said at least 5 times because I hiccuped in the middle of one of them. I know I told you I want to do a review of the Apple Vision Pro, a longer term review. I really want to wait for Vision OS 1.1 to come out so I can play with that a while before I do the review. So we'll see. So next week, the limited edition unboxing of Cold Steels 3 and 4, and then we'll see what happens after that. That's it for today. See you next time. Bye-bye. I'm going to go lie down now because my back is really, really hurting. Thanks for staying to the end. Bye-bye.